Hey guys, Tim here. Thought I'd show you what we have for our Ableton set. This is pretty much what we use to run our entire weekend services. I have it organized in a way to where we can pretty much keep everything in the same place. I pulled some ideas from different churches and kind of pull them all together. So of course we have this big open space right here, which is where we will build our set in just a sec. First I'll show how we keep all the songs in one spot. So any song that we use and any key that we use regularly will be down here in this list. You'll see here that I have Alive by Hillsong Young and Free in 3 different keys. And I try as much as I can to split it up into all the different song sections to where it just automatically goes into one another. And that really helps during rehearsals and such, to where if we need to practice just a certain part, we don't have to start it all the way from the beginning. And it also gives that creativity to where, and the flexibility to where if we're in the middle of a live set and we need to repeat a chorus or something, I can easily do so just by clicking on the part. So there's pretty much all of our songs that we are currently using. Now, some songs don't have all the tracks to them. They may just be a click track. That's where down here at the bottom what these are. All it just has a basic track over here for the cues, to where there's just something in there to activate the click itself, and it also gives us a count in just to start the song. But as far as tracks, there's really nothing there. I do have a coloring system to where you'll notice that most of these are red for the top. That means that it is a full song. It hasn't been edited in any way, not even changes such as the addition of a chorus or something. They're completely original. Down here you'll see that I have a blue one for Wake. So this is a modified version of the song. This is just a short version that we might do, after a sermon or something as people are leaving. So it just makes it easier to find it really quickly. And then also when we move everything up here to the top, when we put everything in a row, it's so I don't accidentally trigger the wrong one if I'm using the mouse to trigger a clip. Now, as far as organization of the tracks themselves, you'll see that I have everything up here into these 4 categories. First is going to be the click and the cues. Now, I always use the built-in Ableton click. The reason why I have still a click track right here is because I use a Max plugin called Follow. And Follow is what allows all of these tracks to automatically go from one to the next. Ableton, it has a version of that built in, but it is a complete pain to set up. So I'll put a link in the description of the plugin that we use, and pretty much what it allows us to do is just say that we want it to go to the next scene. It is a little buggy, so every now and then you have to reset it up. So I would say that I need it to go to the next scene when it gets to the end of this clip. And then let's see if this does it. Of course, right now nothing is going, but it automatically goes to the next one. If I had my audio interface in, I would continue playing it. So that's why I have click track, files right here, but I'm not actually running that click track. Next is going to be the guide, and what that is there for is a lot of times when you buy tracks from people, it already comes with a guide, so it just saves me the work of having to make my own. I just go ahead and throw the ones they already have in there. Last one, it says LCQ. What that is, it's the cue pack from Loop Community. That's for loops when I have to make my own cue track. For example, here with Get Bright, it didn't come with a cue track, so instead I made my own. It also has the Follow plugin on it, so that way if I don't have a click track, I'll throw something over here, and it allows it to always be using that plugin so that my songs flow, nice and neat. I'll go ahead and close that. That's all going to one output of my audio interface. Next are the lead tracks. As you see here, full track are for the times when all you have is just one stereo track, you're not able to split it up. And then I have all these other options for when you buy multi-tracks. I just always have all of these here running. I just always have these open, to where no matter what song we're doing, when I'm bringing in a new song, I can just click and drag it over. In another video, I'll show how I import new songs straight from buying them. Some songs, such as I Hear Glory in the Highest by Fellowship, doesn't have that many tracks, so it's not going to take up that much. Whereas other stuff, like anything from Hillsong Young and Free, it's going to have quite a few keys tracks. So this is pretty much everything that stays in the higher frequencies, a lot of more of the main parts. For example, these are all of the brighter synths, not so much the synths for the song Brighter, but ones that are, a bit more powerful. They carry all the lead lines and such. That's everything that's going to stay in here. Also, I'll keep things such as the percussion tracks. Next, we have the bass tracks, which of course have things such as the drums and the bass, but also a lot of things we'll like to add in a synth bass or maybe just a drum loop to add to it. That's where all of that will go. That's going to another audio output. That way the front of house engineer has control over, a bit more control over everything, so that if there's too much bass or too much of the, of a sub kit going on, he can just bring down that without having to bring down the whole loop. Now keep in mind that even though right now these all show as activated, when it's time for me to actually create the set, I will deactivate these. We don't have all these going at once. And then last we have vocal tracks. For the most part, these will all be deactivated as well. Only time when I'll throw those in there is, say, there's a shouting part where it sounds really great to have a clip of tons of people yelling. Good example, we do the song Rooftops by Fellowship Creative, and there's a part right before the chorus where everyone shouts from the rooftop, and so it's cool to have that track there. So that's how I have all this split up. Now as far as creating the set itself, it's as simple as just copying and pasting. So say we're going to open up the set with the live. I just select all of it, go on to copy. Now keep in mind that your computer is going to lag a little bit when doing this, because this is a lot of files, a lot of sound clips all in one project. So it's it can be a little slow sometimes. I do recommend having a solid state drive if you do a file this big. Back when we had just a regular optical drive, I had it crash on me once right before set, and it takes about 5 to 10 minutes for everything to boot up and load properly. With the solid state drive, I can have everything up and running within 10-15 seconds. So definitely a huge upgrade. So you see, all I did was I just copied and pasted, and I put it right here, up here at the top. Then I would just find my next song in the set, and I'll do the exact same thing. I'll just copy it and then paste it right up here. And then just continue to do that for the entire rest of your set. And then when the someday is done, all you do is just take it right back to normal. You just select everything that you had added on there. You delete it. Like I said, keep in mind that because there's so much files, it can take a little bit sometimes. And now I'm right back to normal. That's pretty much the basis of how all of this is set up. It allows me to completely customize anything I need up here without ever touching, the root file of everything.